If that don't get your blood boiling, what does? Peace and blessings. It is your boy Eli Rex, aka Vibes, and I am here with my guys as usual on a Tuesday night. Thank you for spending your Tuesday nights, and welcome to New York Revival, where it's not just sports, it is entertainment. And I'm here with my guys, Mr. Glass Half Full. Steve, nasty now.
Let's go.
Every time.
Let's go.
It does. It gets me.
Every
And
damn
that's
time.
my guy, Jeff Pilgrim, a.k.a. El Jefe, a.k.a. White Jersey, Blue Jersey, a.k.a. The Stoner, a.k.a. The Guitar Douche, a.k.a. I could go on forever, baby. Mr.
Let's
L.
go.
Vegas in the building. And thank you guys for spending your Tuesday nights with us. Man, what a weekend. What a week. What an everything, guys. And I'm going to
Big
just go
week.
around the room like we always do, right? It's a huge week for us. So, not a lot to talk about on this Tuesday night. But let's start with around the room. Jeff, how was your weekend, man?
All the weekends are good, man. And when you were naming characters, you forgot Ernie McCracken from the Sackless on Sunday Tribune.
The most important character.
Classic.
He was
Classic.
featured for 10 seconds. It took me longer to put the outfit on than to actually do anything.
I
with
like
it.
to get up the hat. And you had to,
I wear that hat 1 month a year, and it's the St. Patty's. My friends call me
Patty's.
Murph. I go into Murph mode.
you got
I just go straight Irish for a month straight.
Oh, baby.
Spiro, how you doing, big dog?
Hey, listen, it was a tough weekend for your boy. I got clipped. And yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the old
oh
no more
no!
babies thing. Yeah.
Man
that
down.
happened. So
Man down.
I've been icing all day.
You're breaking this news live? I didn't
Hey,
know
listen.
this happened.
This is the people need to know. The people need to know. I was struggling, man. I was struggling. Yeah.
Can we talk about this for a second?
Yeah.
Ow. Like, were you?
Listen, peas are your best friend. Peas are your best friend. It was
Peas.
tough because, all right, it was also my Greek Easter. So I was just sitting there while everybody was going with my sweatpants, got my peas constantly on the balls. Dude, it was a rough weekend, but we got through it. We got through it, man.
I imagined you had a couple
I'm
extra
sorry.
brewskis to get through it.
Needed all the brewskis.
All the
brewskis.
Bro, I mean, on one
Yeah, that
hand,
was my weekend. So that,
wow, dude, fuck that. Ow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Hey, listen, TK says it best right here. I mean, they took my. It was rough. It was rough. They did it, but listen.
I'm trying not to laugh on audio too much. It can be loud. I'm sorry. This is great.
Yo, that's why I like this show, because I had no idea that's how we were going to start. I didn't know this happened. I
I
thought we were
wasn't gonna
friends.
say it either. I don't know why. It just rolled off.
We talk all
But
day, every day, and
I
he
think-
never mentioned
You know
that he
what?
got
I
his...
think you might have missed that call because I knew that one.
it
Oh,
was-
you
yes,
did?
Yes,
I did.
I'm pretty sure I gave you guys the heads up.
All right, you guys are having...
You might have missed that one.
Hey,
Yeah,
you're having
you
calls.
always-
You're having calls without me. I get it. I see what's going on.
I don't know what happened, but I think you missed that one. I missed that one. My apologies, bro.
Dude,
But I knew that one.
It
And
was
so when
rough.
I saw your face, I was like, "Oh yeah, he didn't know."
Oh,
He didn't
bring
know.
on the Easter
Oh, this is
jokes.
great.
Here we go.
Easter.
Here we
Hey,
go.
it's relevant. Stay relevant.
Good
I like
Lord.
it. So, anyways, I ate a lot of food. Didn't walk around too much, and my ass is on the couch all day long. But anyway, E, how was your weekend? What do you got going on?
Nice
Nothing tops
transition.
that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Good luck. Good luck
Not
with
even
that.
close to top of
Try
that.
to come
But
up with
my
something.
weekend was great. Nothing even close or remotely to yours. But however,
respect
it was
that.
great, man. Thank God. You know what I was, man? And I don't gamble much, but you know what I was doing, man? I was chasing that damn Powerball.
Oh,
$424 million Powerball. And it led me to an idea. And I'm going to ask you guys, just off the cuff, because I'm like, what the hell? He's giving you ball story. The other one, we got a bunch going
let's
on.
get crazy.
Right? Let's get crazy.
nuts.
So I'm going to ask you guys one thing, because I really hope, did you purchase your tickets, number one, guys? If you didn't purchase your tickets, you're nuts.
Yeah,
Did you purchase it?
I got you, bro.
Ooh, that's what I like to
I'm
hear.
winning ticket right here. I
All
can't
right.
even show the numbers because they're winning numbers, and I don't want
Yeah, don't show the numbers.
everybody
Don't
to
show
come
the
after me.
Listen, just make sure I just want 100 grand, man. That's all.
my true friends are right here.
Yeah, like 100 grand. Are we good for?
Yeah,
we're
that's
good
it.
for 100 grand.
Are we good for 100 grand? You just-
Not bad. Okay. Hey,
Well,
it's like crabs in a bucket.
We'll talk.
We'll
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 talk.
talk off there.
later.
All right, we'll make a deal. We'll make a deal. But guys, I want to ask you this: if you win that jackpot, and I've been thinking, man, the craziest I could buy, But what would
Gets
be
you
the
dreaming.
craziest fucking thing you'll
Mm.
buy, man? And I would start with you, Mr. Glass Half Full. What's the craziest thing you'll purchase if you win that Powerball, bro?
Well, dude,
Like, get
this is
crazy.
well, I don't want to, it's a bunch of things, but it's really one concept. I do just a sports year. Just go do all my bucket list things like Lombardi. I'm gonna go to the Waste Management Tour for golf. I'm gonna go to all the big tennis matches. I go to soccer matches. I go to the football games, the Super Bowls, everything, man. I'm gonna do a 1 year bang out, hit all the spots, Lambeau Field, and all that crazy stuff. Any baseball fields I haven't gone to, just have it out,
I
man.
love that.
Have it
I love
out.
that. I love that idea. You'll never miss a Super Bowl for the rest
Exactly.
of your life. You're
Exactly.
going to
Like,
every
I did it.
single-
I did it.
I like that. I ain't
Hey,
gonna lie.
hey, E, what
Jeff,
do you got? What's your big purchase? I know I lumped a lot of things into one, but what's your big idea? What are you gonna use that money for?
to purchase a Staten Island ferry boat.
What the?
Here's the idea, though.
Whoa.
After you
What you
purchase
got?
because
Keep
I
going.
seen Pete Davidson. Shout out Pete.
Yeah, didn't they just
Davidson,
do
friend of the
that?
shows. They just purchased the Staten
Oh,
Island ferry
yeah,
boat and
true.
had the idea that I have to create it into a bar. So
Stole
then I'm
your
gonna
shit.
think of a second one. And you guys might think I'm crazy, man, but
You
I'm
could
thinking
build a
of the
new boat,
exact exactly. I'm thinking of the exact replica of the Knight Rider kit car. That's what I want.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
That's FU money. If
Yo.
you do
Yeah,
shit like that.
that's just nothing. That's like, let me
Yeah.
just get the kit car, have it talk, right?
I dig it.
Let's take over. I think that would be
dig
my
it.
most extravagant. A boat, then kit the car from Knight Rider. Jeff, what about you, man?
Wait, before you say anything, that Knight Rider song is just ingrained in my head for the rest of the time. Hearing as a little kid. Let me just say that, Jeff, you go. Sorry.
Hold on, I'm
Anytime-
going to ask something after this, Jeff. I'm going to ask something after this. Go.
Anytime
Off the cuff,
anytime I start dreaming about the lottery, I'm thinking like I just want to buy a compound, and I want to have several different properties on it where all my friends and family can live, and then there's going to be a common space in the middle, and it's going to be a sick music venue. It's going to have a studio for us to podcast. It's going to have a recording studio, and it's going to be a party house, and we're going to have, since we got this stupid money, any artist you want is going to come perform in our living room. And that's
Look
like,
at that.
that's my dream. That's my dream.
Hey, that's a fun
Now,
time right there.
Is this like a fire festival you're doing here? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Fire festival.
You got the old fire
With
festival?
actual money behind it.
Yeah.
That ain't bad.
I've seen the campsites that they have at Fire Festival. It's going to be a little bit nicer than that.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Now there's ways you could purchase your own freaking island. Did you guys ever see that TV show, Lotto
No.
something, or Purchase Your Island? There's people purchasing freaking islands, bro, for like
That's too much
1.7
money.
million. I'm like, really?
That's chump change, bro. I just
That's
want
nothing,
lottery.
right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I want an island now.
I got
Fuck
a couple
that.
islands. Bring them up.
Like, I need a
Bring those
few.
islands on my way.
So listen, I'm not mad at both of you guys' ideas. I think that's great, but this is off script and off topic, guys. But speaking of 80s music, what would be your number one favorites besides Knight Rider? What would be your number one favorite?
God,
I'm putting you right on the spot. Chat, get in there. What would be your favorite 80s show? Because I have one.
Show? Or are we talking about? You talking music or a show?
Music, the music behind it, the theme song
Ooh,
of the
theme
80s.
song.
Oh, this is just a
Damn.
random spin-off question.
Random spit off.
I thought this is not lottery related.
Dude, hold
No,
on.
it's not.
I'm gonna have to use my lifeline and go to the chat on this one because
Yeah.
my brain is just locked up right now.
Well, let me tell you this. I have quite a few. It's not only
Ooh.
Knight Rider, man, but I also have the I think it's the Last Action Hero, or the last, I think it's called. Believe it or not, it's just me. That one. Believe it or not, I'm walking.
I know that one.
Come on.
You're right.
The Last
know.
Action Hero, I think it's called. There it is. The Last
Yes.
Action Hero. That's one of mine, man. It's in my top. But that was just a regular spinoff. Guys, we're going to get to this show because we're just chopping it up.
We're dating ourselves now.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. This is what we do. We did this off air. We're just continuing this, guys. But we're going to get to the show, I promise. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody that's going to call in. We're going to drop the link in there because we need to hear from you and you all. So thank you guys for spending your Tuesday with us. Now, a couple things happening, guys. We got the Nets.
Oh,
We got Knicks. And the reason why I say Knicks, even though they're not in the playoffs, but guys, we got the Nets. And I'm trying to find my broom right now, Speed.
oh my God.
Oh.
I'm trying to find my broom here.
Oh.
Well, you know, I don't want to add insult to injury.
He's already had a rough couple days, all right? Give him a
I already
break.
know.
this
Listen,
weekend.
I get it. But please come sit on the couch with us Knicks fans, please.
Oh,
Welcome
wow.
aboard. Who runs New York, baby? Gotta be the
Nobody.
Knicks. I don't care what you say.
Right here. These guys over here. These
That's
guys.
true. And we're gonna get to that. But Speed, man, KD couldn't deliver. Kyrie couldn't deliver. There's a lot of fingers being pointed. Steve Nash. Let's start with Steve Nash, man. How are you feeling about Steve Nash as a head coach? Do you feel like they need to have a change of coach? Do you feel like the players are just running the asylum?
Yeah.
But how do you feel, man, being swept, man, as far as the Nets is concerned?
I feel terrible. This Nets team all year, it's painful to watch them all year long. Like they started off pretty decent, and then as soon as KD got hurt, it was just like a slog. And then they started getting people back. Kyrie with his bullshit, but he came back, and then KD after his injury, he came back, but they never clicked. They not one time. It was ugly throughout the whole season. They limped their way into this play-in game. They struggled through a couple play-in games. They looked like shit literally all year long. And then you get swept round one. Title contending team with KD and Kyrie. Man, the balls on these guys to just shrivel up and fucking literally lay fucking eggs on your own court, man. Like going out like that was pretty pathetic. Listen, KD had a good last game, but he was shit the whole series. Kyrie had a good first game, shit the whole series. Everybody else on that roster, trash. Ben Simmons, go fuck yourself. I hated him. I hate him before he came here. I hate him even more. Like the Harden swap, it's just fuck since Jump Street. I'm just so sick of this team. So happy the season's over. And man, C's are good though. The C's are very, very good. Watch out. Celtics are going to come get somebody.
They're a good team, man.
They're a solid team. But that's all I got right now. Go, E, you're next, or Jeff, whatever, which one. I'll take this.
I'll pass this to Jeff, man. I'll start last. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, like I'm a Knicks. As part of Revival, I root for New York teams, right? Like I want to see New York teams do well, even if it's not my team. Like I'm happy for Mets fans right now because the Mets are killing it. Even though I'm technically a Yankees guy, I'm just not a big baseball guy. But with the Nets, I hate Durant. I think it was a bitch move from joining the Warriors, and he lost me at that point. So I was never really rooting for him. Kyrie is annoying. So it's not like I was pulling for the Nets in my plums, right? I was not pulling for him, Spiro.
That's
you know
fair.
him. Back when you had
Nets fans.
Back when Spiro had plums, he used to root.
He said shriveled balls, and I was like, "Oh, like yours?" Like,
I was gonna say that. I gave that to you on a silver platter, guys.
Hey, side note, Chris Kreider just scored his 52nd goal.
No big deal.
Unbelievable.
No big deal.
Let's go,
baby. Let's go, CK.
But the Nets,
wait, one more thing. Steve McDonald winner, extra effort award winner, big New York Ranger award. We'll talk about it later, but that's all.
Absolutely.
Go on.
Nice. I mean, the Nets got beat because the Celtics are an actual team. They play like a team, and they play for each other, and they have some star power. So, like, that's a dangerous combo. They're well coached. They play hard. And the Nets were a group of individuals, and that's what they were from Jump Street. They bought all-stars, and they tried to make it work, and it doesn't always work. So you could see the Lakers didn't even make the playoffs. So it doesn't work just because you gather good players. You need to have some cohesion there. So Absolutely. Celtics, I can see the Celtics going another round or two in these playoffs, definitely.
Listen, man, I'll tell you this, man. When it comes to the Nets, and this is lack of a better word, I'm gonna use the saying: the inmates are running the asylum, right?
Yeah.
Golden State, when it came to KD, that was already an established team, a winning team. So
73 win roster.
Absolutely.
73 wins.
Absolutely, bro. So they beat the Chicago Bulls out for their that record as well, right? So they were already an established team, a winning championship team, and KD just brought them a little bit more over the top as far as, winning more championships. So they try to do the same thing here in Brooklyn, and it just couldn't translate. Like, you've seen how they played, even when they had the entire tenure here, even to the down to this game, they're just not a complete team. No. Steve Nash isn't a head coach. He's just the guy there that they chose. So the inmates are running the asylums. That's it. Yeah. That's it. So I think they need structure. I think they need a real coach. Or if not, blow this thing up and let Brooklyn start from scratch.
Well, they ran the real coach out of town. Kenny Atkinson built a great team and a great roster. The KD and Kyrie like, oh, I like how they set up teams. Let's come there. And then they demolished everything that they were the Brooklyn for. It was ridiculous.
It's nuts. You know what I mean? So I think Brooklyn was trying to chase that, and it just didn't work. You guys seen it. We've seen the results, you know what I mean, of what's going on now. So At this point, man, I would say blow it up if nothing else can happen because you're getting swept. And you got Kyrie, you got KD, you have Griffin, you have all these players. We've had a Harding at one point, right?
Yeah.
And they could not get this thing done. It's time to blow it up, get rid of everything, and let Brooklyn start from scratch and build a right team, not a bunch of all-stars that's going to put seats in those, butts in those seats. You know what I mean? To sell some tickets at this point. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
listen,
I'm extremely disappointed, man. And shout out to the Celtics. That is a team. That is a team.
We talk about how much of a pussy / baby back bitch fucking Ben Simmons is. Like,
oh yeah, let's discuss
even
that.
His
Let's discuss
own
Ben Simmons.
teammates are questioning. They didn't know what was going on. They're like, wait, you're gonna just flake out for the whole season and the playoffs? Like, you got the balls to do that? Like, you call yourself an athlete and you're gonna just sit it out and be like, yeah, you guys got this. Yeah, I know you're struggling. You could probably use a good defender for 10, 15 minutes, but y'all got this. I'm gonna just sit here, collect my money, Fuck Ben Simmons.
Dude, that was wild. That was wild to me, dude. Like, he's still young. Like, the opportunities to get in the playoffs and actually like make some noise and do some stuff like that. Like, those opportunities are not right. Like, you just lost that fan base before you even started. Like, you got a lot to make up for. And like, who knows how bad he was hurting, but like, I saw Scottie Pippen play with a freaking like spasming back, and you can't do shit with a hurt back. Let alone like take whatever shots you need and get it. Like, granted, I mean, if he's a defensive guy, Ben Simmons, he can do a lot, but he's considered a very good defensive player too. So it's not like you're going to come back cold and be like a shutdown defender. Like, you got to get your wind back and like get back in the game shape. But he could have contributed. He could have played 20 minutes.
Come on. You're in your prime athlete. You can't give 10 minutes. Come on.
And now listen, as far as Ben Simmons, there's a bunch of different stories out. The one story was that he filed a grievance with the 76ers, right? And he's trying to get his $20 million as far as him not playing
it out, right?
So that could be that part of it. There's also another report that came out to where he's having a mental block and he used mental illness. Now, listen, let me tell this, man, as somebody that goes to therapy and I'm an advocate for it, I think it's a great tool, especially if you have any mental illness or whatever the case is. To weaponize that, I really hope is the truth. So I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, Ben Simmons. All right. If really is something going on upstairs that is not clicking to where it's triggering your back, then by all means, big fella, you sat out, do your thing. We'll see you next year. But if it's the opposite of that and you just quit on your team, then you don't need to be in the NBA. You don't need to be you don't need to put on a uniform at this point. There's plenty of people that love to have that opportunity to try to put on and feed their family as well. You know what I mean? But if you have that mental issue or whatever the case is, my brother, take care of that. I respect you sitting out and doing your thing. But man, don't weaponize that if it ain't true. But that's what I got to say about Ben Simmons. And I hope he does ball out. I hope he does do his thing, and whatever is bothering him mentally, man, he gets through it for sure. But let's get on a high note.
Let's go.
I like that hat there, Speed. I like that hat there, Speed, man. What is that? That's the New York Rangers, man. We're going to talk about the hot
They're getting smoked tonight.
Rangers.
They're getting smoked tonight. I want to get that out of there. And it's if I'm not going to let it bring me down, not going to let me bring me down right now. I'm on cloud 9. So lead us into it, E.
And we'll get to the Giants. Don't worry, everybody. Okay.
Yes, we will.
We're going to get to the Giants.
This is New York revival, by the way. This is New York. We talk all New York sports here. And most namely, the best one right now, the New York Rangers.
Guys,
let's go.
This is our best shot right now, guys. This is our best shot.
Jeff,
that is the revival.
Like, what are you?
Yeah, Jeff, set it up, guys. Go ahead, set it up.
I'm excited as hell. What do we got? 2 more regular season games, 2 or 3 more, and then that's it.
It's done.
At this point, it's stay healthy, keep the goalies playing well, and just start hot in the playoffs and start confident. Like breeze through the first round. Right? Like, don't make it a struggle that comes down to the last game and a heart attack, because then they'll lose confidence. Like, go into the playoffs as you've been playing the last 2 weeks and fuck people up. That's what I want to see.
I feel you. I mean, listen, this team is on such a ride, dude. Like, they're 1 win away from tying their most points in team history, most regular season wins. Like, Chris Kreider's got 52 goals. Like, everything is everybody's scoring. They're looking great right now. Like Jeff said, just stay healthy. We had a couple of guys banged up, but we're going to stay healthy now. I don't even care if we lose out. Maybe win the Canadiens game, so you have a little bit of momentum going in. But it's all about now the second seed, and you're gonna face the Penguins or Caps, which I'm cool with either one. Bring either one on, man. Like, It's game time. I'm loving that. I'm watching all the hype videos already, all the playoff hype videos. I'm ready to rock, man. The Rangers are on top of the town, and they got a legit shot. Legit shot, E. Well, I tell you, homework. We need homework out of you.
Now I'm doing my homework. I'm just not ready to present it to the teachers this week. My homework. Shout out Soldier Mayhem. I am definitely doing the homework. I got you. I promise.
Let's give you a deadline by. All right, we'll say by game 1 of playoff.
Give me a date. What's the date?
Actually, I don't know exactly when it's going to start. It's going to next Tuesday. I want you to come at me with a couple names that you and just say, hey, this is how you pronounce this guy. I want you to pronounce them how you think that you're supposed to be pronounced, and I'll tell you the right way. And we'll lead into this nice and soft, a nice and easy test for you.
And you know what?
And soft, he said.
And I said this last week. Shout out to Tiki Barber. He got me wanting to know the exact sport and everything. So I go to these two guys all the time. I go to these guys all the time because they know a little more extra than me. I'm a football, basketball guy, but these guys put me on to a bunch of other stuff here that I'm willing to learn and willing to get better at. So for sure, man, I'm definitely getting that homework, and I'm gonna present it to you the next Tuesday. I promise you that. And shout out next Tuesday, we have a guest too, but we'll say that for later.
Yeah. One thing I gotta say, when Eli kind of alluded to it, we potentially have a special guest coming on, Ranger legend. Just maybe be on the lookout for it. Make sure you subscribe. Going to be a possible interview that I'm trying to set up here. So, Ranger fans, be on the lookout. Potential big interview. It's going to be
potential. It's going to happen.
Huge.
It's going to be huge. Listen, and we're working on a lot of things for you guys. More guests coming up. As you can see, we have the Rangers legend. That is a surprise coming up for you guys. It's in the works. We also have Brandon London next week. And the week after that, we have Joy Taylor by popular demand coming in here. And guys, also,
can't wait for Joy.
Nate Burleson as well, man, is going to be in the building. We're working out these dates as well. So, guys, we have some guests coming in. And you already know. We got more and more. Like, that's the mind-blowing part. But anywho, let's get back to the other stuff here, man. Shout out to the Rangers, man, doing their thing, bringing on the New York Revivals. What we made this show for. But also we got the Yankees and Mets, man, both in first place, guys. How we feeling about that?
Hey, listen, I'll lead us in with the Mets, baby. Leading the league in wins already. The pitching staff's looking great. I'll say both pitching staffs, Yankees and Mets, both have great pitching staffs, leading both teams right now. The Mets have this it factor going on. And I've been here before a million times. I've said these same things, and then come June, it comes crashing down my head. But I'm read the name here. Read the name. It says Mr. Glass.
Mr. G H and F. Okay.
That means it's time for me to think big here. I'm thinking big. I got that it feeling, and I may or may not have put some money down. I'm not doing the World Series.
Oh, of course you did. Of course you did.
Hey, you have to. But they had this game. They came back last night down to bottom of the ninth, freaking the top of the ninth, 2 outs, 2 strikes, and they rally hard. And
that was sweet.
That feels good. It feels real good. Demoralizing the other team. They're winning again tonight. Mets are on top. I don't know about you guys, but Yankees are on top too. So kudos to them. Great pitching from them. I don't know if you guys want to talk Yankees or not. I could dabble on it for you guys. I could dabble on it for you.
Leave that to El Jefe.
There's so much excitement around the Mets and the Yankees. It's so early in the Yankees. Like, it's always the same thing. Like, if they're hitting, it's like guys aren't hitting enough home runs, or they're only going for home runs, and then they just need base hits and they need regular runs coming in. So I'm not even going to go into the Yankees, mostly because I don't care that much. But all the excitement there's 4,000 regular season games. So in 16 months, when this season is at the All-Star break, we'll talk about the chances. But I'm excited for Spiro. I'm excited for Spiro.
Absolutely.
I'm happy he could still get it up after surgery. He's very excited about the Mets, and I'm excited for him. So,
well, you know, like you said, this always happens every year. Yankees are lying in the weeds. Mets fans think that they're going to win the World Series, and then it flips on its head. So, again, we'll just periodically talk. I'll periodically gloat about the Mets, and then we'll go on about our day.
Guys, I need to talk about the Giants soon, or I'm going to explode, because the draft is the draft is in 2 days. Okay.
We wanted to just.
I wanted to give a little salt and pepper on the meat.
We
I love it. I love it.
But guys, in big news today, man, we got the New York Giants. We also got NFL news. The draft is coming up, right? This Thursday, we have the NFL draft. And finally, all the mock
Oh, thank
drafts that
God.
we've been looking at, we can see if someone is right. And especially to the people that was on the first ever New York Revival's People's Choice mock draft. And they can win some
Ooh.
cash money, baby. So let's see if you guys are right. So I can't wait for this draft. But before we get to any draft talk, guys, the biggest news coming out of East Rutherford, New Jersey, Kadarious Toney. And why this feels like a broken record, and I'm in the twilight zone. But however, Kadarious Toney missed a couple days of voluntary workout, and boy, was the internet on fire. Shout out to Pat Leonard, released a report that the Giants were shopping Kadarious Toney. Then the next day, exactly, Kadarious Toney was at the facility. Of course, and all the rumors that was out went away because they said the Giants is not shopping Kadarious Toney, right? But they could be listening to offers. So I'm gonna start with El Jefe. How you feeling with this, man? Kadarious Toney. First, let's go through voluntary. Should he be there?
Well, you want him there. He should be there, right? Like, be a professional. It's a new offense, new coach. You want to impress the new boss. Like, that's just, you're supposed to want to do that. But kids these days, they don't give a shit.
They really don't.
Right?
They really don't give a shit.
You know what? And there's too many people saying, just cut him, just trade him. Like, no, you forget what this dude looks like with the football in his hands. Go back and watch some highlights, okay? Then come back to me and say, cut him. Because there's nobody on the fucking Giants that moves like that kid does. There's very few people in the NFL that move like that kid does. So we got to figure that out and make it work. I know Pat Leonard leaked that. Spiro, if you would compare Pat Leonard to any ex-Giant, what would you say?
I mean, El Jefe took the words out of our mouths by saying he is Nate Solder-esque. He's Nate Solder-esque.
He is the Nate Solder of beat reporters. It's true.
Beat reporters. You said it best on his freaking video, man. You nailed it again, Jefe.
Not for nothing, I really do think Pat Leonard is like the black sheep of the beat reporters. They just be like, yeah, they're trading Kadarious. Oh, I gotta report it. And they're like, yeah. Like, dude, I think they just throw him to the wolves, man.
I unfollowed him, I muted him, and yet he still wreaks havoc.
Blocked.
So I'm gonna have to block the next thing. I'm gonna block him before he blocks me, because
he's blocked.
He's always on the block and unblock list, like constantly. Because sometimes he'll drop something that I need to know, but like, there's too much bullshit that I have to put up with. It's just better to block him, people.
Man, shout out to Dan Duggan.
He's like a leech.
Shout out to Dan Duggan, Art Stapleton. Shout out to all the other beat writers out there that actually give us the good news. Those are the ones I listen to. But when it comes to Pat Leonard, he's blocked. I don't want to hear nothing coming out of his mouth besides "I quit."
Let me ask you guys,
because we got.
Have we what?
Has he backtracked what he said yet, or is he just
no?
Yeah,
no.
The dude is that. I mean, I'll take the other side of this for a second. And if Pat Leonard stirred the pot and got this trade talk started, and then Kadarious Toney was like, "Oh shit, I should probably get my ass to work."
Then thank you, Pat.
In that case, similar to like Tiki Barber in his comments, well, maybe Tiki lit that fire under Eli. You don't know how this shit works. Okay?
Maybe the Giants leaked it to him to put it out so they can get his ass there. That's big brain shit right there, Jefe.
Right.
I'm thinking where you're going.
I'm thinking one step ahead here. But listen, I know we posted the link. We've got a couple of people waiting. Why don't we hear from Monty on this issue? What do you guys think?
Monty, what you got, man? Yeah, bring him in.
And we got C's and Sargent in there too. C's, you're next because I didn't see you got your video going. But let's hear from Monty on the issue. Let's see what Monty's got to say. What's
up, boys?
Hey, I know Monty's got some thoughts on KT. I know.
Man, and I feel good that I can talk about this now that we can all take a little bit of a deep breath, because I don't want to shit on the kid, but I have had different opinions than other people. I've been a little bit more critical of KT since the start, but now that we can kind of take a breath on it and like, look, he finally seems to have some self-awareness. Is what I've been looking for him for a long time. It's just realize like what's like, I understand it's voluntary, but there's certain important things where it looks bad when you don't show up. There's things that bothered me like early on there, and people wrote it off from a contract thing, but he missed OTAs when he was rookie. He's only rookie, and people have talked about last like 5 years. I can't remember any but rookie who skipped OTAs. He said it's a contract thing, but all the reporters are like, no, they're protected. Like everybody goes contract or not.
Right.
So it just felt like things were stacking. I felt like a new coach that's like you want to make a good impression. It says everybody's got a fresh start. Let me just go in, show face, get the playbook. But so I was getting worried. I wasn't necessarily got to trade him again, but like,
yeah.
I was like,
the panic meter just went up a couple of notches.
I mean, it gets to the point. It was like, I understand where this is not the GM's guy, and if they don't think they can trust him, which they're big on trust, they're big on reliability, dependability. But I do think it was a big step for him to just show up and be there, get the playbook. And really, it was just part of it for me was, if he wasn't going to show up to those rookie OTAs, he wasn't going to show up to a new coach. I kind of was like, is he ever going to show up to voluntary things? Is it just like a certain like these have been weird situations, or is it just like we can assume he'll never show up and hopefully he's great despite it? The way I put it was like, it felt like he was choosing to fight an uphill battle. And it doesn't mean he can't win it. It doesn't mean that I don't want him to win it, but it felt like he was choosing to make it as difficult as possible on himself. But I think we're going to see more of it. I said it was meet halfway. Take. I think Bobby Skinner says take the Giants more seriously. Just take the Giants more seriously, and that's just all we need out of you. And I think these coaches are the right coaches to unlock it. I think with Kafka, with his work with Tyreek Hill, I think with Dable and his work with Stephon Diggs and that entire Bills offense, I really do think they can lock him, and I hope they can find some middle ground.
If he's got to take his career more like he's got to be a career guy. Like, he likes the NFL. Like, who said it? I think somebody said, a source within the Giants. You can't trust him. He likes the NFL lifestyle, but not the NFL work. So you got to take your career seriously and step up to the plate now, KT. Like, we want to see you succeed. We've seen what you can do on the field. Now stay on the field, work hard, go and get the playbook, do what you got to do. I understand it's voluntary, but like, if Hefe said, if it was your new boss and you look to impress the guy, you're not impressing anybody by not showing up. You're being one of the few guys, and you have Kenny Galladay out there saying, I haven't heard from him either. So your own wide receiver group, your wide receiver group hasn't heard from you. You're out there doing who knows what. Like, I understand your coach is saying it, but that doesn't mean shit to me.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look.
No, it wasn't. And you know what made and let me throw a little more salt on here. But you know what made Michael Jordan so great? You know what made the Black Mamba so great? You know what made LeBron James? They let their play speak for itself. If you go out there and you continue to put on, all that other stuff is going to come that he's looking for. The money, the fame, the this, the that. So it's not there yet, young man. And if that's what you're really in this for, is for that fame, then go out there and ball out. Look at Odell Beckham is a perfect example. And I know the Giants fans are, Odell. No, it's true. Odell Beckham went out there and played. Odell. Like,
as we do, yeah.
They're going to lose sleep. But it's a fact. Odell Beckham went out there and made the catch. He not only made the catch, he went out there and got 1,000 yards. He went out there and did it again. Then he got hurt. But, guys, he still was out there performing. And everything else and everything else came after that. You know what I mean? So, KT, you're not there yet. Go out there and play, man. And then at first, yes, voluntary. I wouldn't show up for voluntary work. I'm going to be honest with you. But, yes, and looking at it's a different business, right? So you want to be there and you want to prove to your coaches that you can go out there and you can be available for them to look at, whatever the case is as far as the NFL is concerned. So you got to go out there and do your thing no matter what, especially the fact that you're kind of still a rookie. You know what I mean? So go out there and play, young man. Go prove all those naysayers wrong. Don't use Instagram, but I understand it's new, and that's what these young guys do.
These young kids these days.
These young kids do. I get it. I understand that's your tool. But right now, you got to prove it, man. So a lot of Giants fans calling for your head. You got to prove it, man. But Hefe, what you got? Oh, Monte. I'm sorry.
No, you can go ahead.
Monty, first of all, what are you drinking? I mean, you know the rules. If you join the show, I know you're drinking something.
I got some Blue Moon Light Sky, some nice low calories, some 60 beer.
You're trying to be healthy during the week.
Smart and sensible.
Down, but it's good. I like it.
Summer bodies are made in the spring. Everybody knows that.
Absolutely. But Monte, thank you so much. I got Landshark too.
Also, big shout out to Monty, who's like helping out with some stuff behind the scenes for for the revival.
Can we do this? Can we do this?
Yeah, my man, he's helping us out. He's behind the scenes. He's doing some good things. So Monte, you're more than welcome to hang out, and we'll come back around if you want. But we're going to hear from some other people too.
Before we do that, guys, yes, Monte is one of the guys. He's part of the revival camp here. He gives us some of our visuals, cut up some scenes for us. So when you see those little scenes going through a little bit, just know it's Monte. Shout out to Monte joining the revival staff, man. We appreciate you. Cheers to you, brother. And man, we'll keep grinding for you guys. Thank you, Monte. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Yeah, talk to you a bit, guys.
Definitely, man. Just hang out. Yeah, man. Who else we got on this Kadarious Toney topic? Anybody want to chime in? We'll get the next call.
Listen, it's good to see him here. But like all the fans say, like it's time to now. Listen, if he goes on the field in September in preseason and lights it up, nobody's gonna remember that he missed 2 voluntary rights. I'll say this one thing. You kind of touched on this before. Like you said, yeah, you wouldn't go into voluntary work if it was your work. But do you love your job? Do you really love your job? Yes,
absolutely.
Well, I would say if I loved my job and I was passionate about it, I want to be there fucking every day. You know, I'd be jacked up and get on that football field. And these guys, they don't have long careers. They have 5 to 10 year careers on average. Go out there every day and fucking give it your all and fucking ball out, and then call it a career and fucking before you're 40 years old. Ball out now.
Let's hope that it ends with a ring, because we can see what rings do, right? Look at Michael Strahan. Look at all the other guys that actually have Super Bowl attached to their names. They're out there doing analytics. You know, they're doing all of the TV stuff. Only a few amount of people that don't have rings, if you think about it, right, are in front of the camera, and they're Hall of Famers. But we're talking about people with rings on their resume that actually have a healthy career after football. Go get you your ring. Go work hard for it.
Let's go.
I totally agree with that.
And Kadarious Toney is not going to become a media member. We know that, but he can media some clowns. But last thing I'll say on Kadarious Toney, he's got to show up and get the shit down, because he should be as excited as anyone else on the planet to get to work, just because you have the passing game coordinator from Kansas City who just made Tyreek Hill the highest paid wide receiver on the planet. And then you have the offensive coordinator from Buffalo, who's our head coach now, offensive guy who's going to get you the ball in your hands with a ton of pre-snap motion, where this guy's going to be in positions to succeed constantly. He should get this playbook, start learning, and get ready to kill it, because if he stays healthy and DJ stays healthy, Toney's in for a Pro Bowl year. I truly believe this guy is genuinely special. Like, he can do things that dudes just can't do. So, like, I'm a huge fan of his. I don't care. Get to work, do your thing. I don't care about the character shit. Just go ball out on Sundays. Help the Giants win games.
Honestly, dude, that's a good transition to what are these wide receivers, Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel, now trying to get paid. They're getting paid big bucks. And let's talk about Deebo Samuel. You go out and ball out, KT, you're going to get paid, because wide receivers are getting paid like crazy nowadays. That should be your motivation right there. Seeing all these guys get paid, say, hey, I'm going to go out there every day. I'm going to put the work in. I'm going to make a Pro Bowl, and I'm going to show the world why I got drafted in the first round. Go out and prove it. Be on the field every day, because you can get paid if you do that.
I agree. And think of it this way, guys. A lot of Twitter chatter, man, are talking about Mr. Deebo Samuels being traded to the Giants. You know what I want to do? And this is a challenge to all Giants and everyone's here listening to that New York Revival. I want to hold a court. Let's hold a New York Revival court. If you got somebody you want to debate with on New York Revival, we could be your judge. We could be your group of peers. Come at that person, DM us now, and come on the show. Y'all debate it out. We'll see who's right. But I want someone to convince me right now why Deebo Samuel should be traded for Kadarious Toney. Who's in the chat right now that can call in the show and convince us to make this happen? Are you guys ready for that?
Hit the link, and drop a comment and let us know if you're willing and able to do this. If
you're willing and able to try to convince us, this could be a little taste of what that future show is going to be like. But guys, I'm telling you right now, convince me why we're trading Kadarious Toney for Deebo Samuels.
I got to hear from C's. I want to hear from C's right now.
C's, where we at, man? Let's do it.
Yo, what's going on, buddy?
First things first, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
What are you drinking?
I'm from South Jersey, so I drink Yingling. Like,
Okay,
Yingling's great, dude. I love Yingling.
We
do
are
it,
big
man.
fans of Yingling on this podcast.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we are. One
And we're
day
looking for
we
that
will be
sponsorship as
sponsored.
well.
Yep.
Yeah, shout out to Yingling.
Great minds
No big
think
deal.
alike,
Wet the
brother.
beak. Wet the beak.
there you go.
There you go. So with that, we already know what he's drinking. What you thinking, man? Can you convince us of something, man? What's going on?
So I'm glad passed this on tonight. So that's always great. So I had a couple of things to bring up real quick because you guys were talking about Ben Simmons, and I happen to be a 76ers fan.
Oh, you can speak on it perfectly then.
Yeah, please.
Please, go ahead.
Real quick, if I could rewind. Ben Simmons is the Jason Garrett of basketball.
Dirty.
And I'm not joking. Because
elaborate, please.
Hear me out. Because when he was in Philly, it was always he's gonna be this, he's gonna be that, he's ready. And literally last year when he passed that ball, that was it. That was it for Sixers fans.
Yeah,
that was it. And kind of similar to Kadarious Toney, like you guys are saying, like a little bit goes a long way. Just showing up, right? Just for Ben Simmons, him hitting the floor for 12 minutes next to KD and Kyrie would have helped a ton in his image for New York, right?
Bingo.
Same thing for Kadarious Toney. He should have just showed up and gotten the playbook. That's it.
Then be out.
Exactly, right? Then be out, right?
Yeah.
Lift some weights. Yeah.
They're making millions of dollars, like you guys said, the lottery, and you can't just show up. I mean, if you have a new boss, I'm gonna try to get to work a little bit earlier on time. Like, and then I'll trail off. Trail off. I'll stop at Wawa or wherever it is I gotta go. Right? But I mean,
shout out Wawa.
as far as Kadarious Toney goes, I was one earlier. I'll be completely honest. I was one that I didn't like the way he carried himself. I questioned if he did love football or if he liked what football brought to him. Very similar to Ben Simmons. I question if he likes basketball or what basketball brings to him. You could just see it, him sitting on the bench.
Loves that lifestyle, man.
Yeah, man. He looks like the Joker in on a colorful.
He looked dumb as hell. He looked dumb as hell.
And the sad thing is that he's sitting in the middle of the bench, not even at the end.
Yeah, get your ass at the other bench. He's right.
That outfit wasn't good. I'm with you. The sunglasses just way over. Like now it's a Halloween costume. What are you doing, bro?
He's got such a punchable face. And then you put the sunglasses on. Oh,
yeah, it was
sticking out like a sore thumb on that bench.
Optics, right?
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. Even when you look at KT and you look at Ben, it's optics. They need to be there because the visual just doesn't look right. So I agree.
And
I totally agree.
And real quick, you sit back and you look at Kadarious Toney, right? And El Jefe, you brought it up perfectly. Like his Dallas game, that was amazing. Like he could get paid. This kid could really get paid. If he stays healthy, he keeps his head on right, he could really get paid. He's got the talent. Like you could just see it. It's oozing out of him.
I think he could be a number one in this league, man. I really do, wholeheartedly.
Really?
I really do. I think he has those intangibles to be a number one receiver. I really, really do.
I think he's too small to be number one. I think he could be a heck of a slot.
He could be a huge
Brown. But don't forget, we had Odell. We had Odell that was a small receiver. He's about 5'11", and he was a number one. And I think he's more electric than Odell. But that's another topic.
But you know what the crazy knock is that Odell doesn't get enough credit for? He worked hard, man.
No, he did.
Behind the scenes, he worked hard.
He really did.
Nobody can take that away from him for sure. 100%.
You know what I mean?
He really did.
I won't. I know you got other callers behind me, but I had added you earlier. So when you guys get around the draft, I had added you and I wrote it down and remember to ask you guys on the show. Same draft. If you guys have Daniel Jones, Kyler Murray, Wayne Haskins, and this class, where do you rank those guys from this class in that class? Do you have Malik? So my question is do you have Malik Willis or Kenny Pickett above Daniel Jones or below or wherever? God rest his soul, Dwayne Haskins.
Yes.
I'm just simply saying, like, where do you guys have those other guys in relationship to where Daniel Jones is at? Because there's been some talk about, I hope they don't take Malik Willis, but does Malik Willis?
It's not out of the question.
That's a damn good question. And Marcel, let's keep you on for that one because I'm gonna go around the room.
All right.
I'm gonna start with man. I gotta start with you, Spee. I gotta start with you.
Okay,
Spee.
so hold on.
I have an idea, but I'm gonna start with you, Spee, on this. Good.
So wait. So you have what? Kyler Murray.
Right.
Yeah, Daniel Jones. Who
Dwayne
else?
Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins.
In this draft, you're saying, right?
In this draft.
Are you saying Malik Willis too? You're saying?
Correct.
And Kenny Pickett.
And Pickett. And Kenny Pickett.
Here's the thing: Kenny Pickett and Daniel Jones are not very dissimilar. So it depends on what you're looking for. Because Willis is all upside, and he's a project. So if that's your thing, then you have him higher. But Daniel Jones was a little bit more of a cut clip guy, ready to play in the NFL. Supposedly went to Duke and was supposedly smart, but he's dumb as shit. But that's what you thought you were getting with him. So I would Kyler Murray first for sure. Dwayne Haskins I always worried about, so I would put him back there. Kenny Pickett slowly behind Jones. I'd put Willis slightly above him because he's got higher upside. He's got elite upside where Jones never had elite upside. Okay. And yeah, Kyler Murray's my number one though. He's got it all. But yeah, that's mine.
So you have it Murray, Willis, Jones.
Yep.
Hefe, what about you, man?
I won't take long because I was going to say pretty much the same. Kyler Murray was a runaway first. I thought he was just so dangerous and he could spin it too. So like he's definitely up there as number one. Daniel Jones was not like he was the biggest shock of that draft getting taken. Like people had him graded as a second or third rounder. Some people and like he's a Duke quarterback and he never like his stats weren't there. Like he was tough and he was. Like, just because you go to, like, if you're a full ride football player, going to a good school doesn't mean you're smart.
Yeah, I got fooled. He's like, he went to Duke. It's like, oh, this guy's got has some kind of head on his shoulders. No, he's dumb as shit.
I mean, this is kind of a different conversation, but like the best athletes, don't they get full rides all over the place? And their grades are like, you know what I mean? Like these guys, they're there to play football.
He went to Princeton first, though. By the way, he went to Princeton first.
He went to Princeton.
He should be smart. He's
right. He's definitely book smart. He's definitely book smart.
Home of Jason Garrett, by the way.
Oh. Hey.
Do you see the problem here, guys? We gotta stop looking for smart guys and start looking for football players.
You're right. No more Duke players.
You're right. Yeah. You got any more to add?
No, that's fine. I'm good.
All right. Now let me ask you this, Marcel. Let me ask you this. I'm sorry. Are we basing this on a college film, or we're basing this on this in totality as far as Kyler Murray being in the NFL? Daniel Jones, and also what we saw in Dwayne Haskins, may God rest.
So the reason why I've had this exercise is because, like, if you believe in anybody in this draft is better than Daniel Jones, right?
Hold on. Before we go down that line,
okay.
Are we factoring all of this stuff in here right now as far as NFL career?
Okay, so I mean, I can't get rid of what I already know when I ask this question. So,
perfect. All right. So let me say this before you go down that line because I'm exactly where you're going.
Okay.
And I say this: Kyler Murray being number one, I will still put Daniel Jones at number two. I really would. Malik Willis, I know you, and I'm not a Daniel Jones fan at all. I really think he's not the guy for us. But Malik Willis will be a 3. Because I'm looking at the film and I'm looking at Malik Willis as far as college. And it's not enough for me to say that he can start over Daniel Jones at this point. It's just not enough. If I'm looking at the entire totality of Daniel Jones right now in the NFL, then he has the upper hand at this point. The deep ball accuracy is great. He may not read defenses well, but he still can sling that ball, Daniel Jones. He still has a good arm. Malik Willis, I'm saying it, I'm poking this out, and I'm trusting my eyes here. But I tell you this, Malik Willis has some film where you can see, like, where was he throwing? I don't see that much with Daniel Jones where I go, where the hell is he throwing too much? I don't. I really, really don't. He has a good arm, and when he does deliver it, it's pretty accurate. It's not as accurate as a Brett Favre or a who else? The other guy in Lambeau. Forgive me, Rodgers. But
The
he's
other
pretty
dude.
accurate. It's very decisive. Malik Willis isn't. He's a one-read guy. He'll read it once and he'll run and take off if that guy's not open. At least Daniel Jones will get through another progression. It's not as fast, but at least he'll get through another progression. So I would say 2, Malik Willis, and then I would say Kenny Pickett and Dwayne Haskins. May God rest.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, oh man, that's an interesting situation because I look at it like this, and then I'll head off.
Mhm.
I look at it like this: when you have a known in Daniel Jones, right? Just like you said, he can sling it. When he gets out in the pocket, he runs, but he doesn't slide. You know, a bunch of different things, a bunch of different things. And I think where Dayball's going to cut his teeth at is Jones he's a very linear thinking. 1 + 1 has to equal 2.
Mhm.
And if he doesn't hit those crossing routes that Daboll likes to have, I think Daboll's going to have enough of him and cut him loose. If you want, for my honest opinion. But as far as I have Malik Willis above him now, only because I think the kid has it. Now, if you ask me what it is, I couldn't tell you. But I know that Jones doesn't have it. I've seen enough from Jones to know that he's not generational.
No, that's for sure.
He's not.
I don't think Malik Willis is either. Like if I had to say, let's say it this way: 2A and 2B. I think they're one of the same.
All right.
I think that they. I don't say Malik Willis has that it. I don't see that. I don't see that. But if they're one of the same to me. Like I think the system is what's going to help those guys the most.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to take the team on their back and run with it like a Josh Allen, like a my man down in Cincinnati, Joe Burrow. You know what I mean? They're not going to take the team and run with it like an Aaron Rodgers time. They're not. I think they're system quarterbacks like a Tannehill. You know what I mean? So I think they're just one of the same. But I just think I have Daniel Jones at 2A. I really, really do.
Before I sign off, before y'all kick me off, I want first on Pest on this People's Court if Stingley hits at 5.
Let's go. Done.
Pest.
Shots
If you
fired.
win,
Let's go.
this is what I need you to do. I need you to at
Wow.
Pest and then put you in there as well and let them know New York Revival has the People's Court. So if he's in the chat.
Yeah, he's in the chat.
We will get in touch with you. This is why I'm Colts fan. This is why I'm gonna get in
go.
touch with you. And the first debate show will be Pest and Seas. Let's do it, man. The
Let's
New
go.
York Revival's Court. Let's do it.
That is
Spread the word.
That is the
Yo,
first
thank you.
case.
Peace out, man.
Appreciate you, brother. That was a damn
Thanks,
good question.
dude.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, bro.
That was a damn good question. I'm glad he brought that up because I really wanted to talk about that. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm sorry.
Daniel
just got a little
Jones,
different spin.
after 3 years, remains one of the biggest mysteries in the
It's
NFL.
true.
It's been such
True.
a shit show around him, though. It's the fact that it's a mystery means like we just blew the whole situation. We couldn't we did it so badly that we can't even evaluate a guy 3 years into his career.
Epic
That's
failure
crazy.
by the Giants to not know
That's
what you have.
That's exactly what it is. Like you said, Hefe, epic failure.
Oh,
They didn't set him up with the pieces. And again, we all have our opinions on him. I don't think he's the guy at all. You know what I mean? I think the time, like Tiki said, shout out Tiki, the time just ran out for him. I think that's why we're like, we're done. Time's ran out. Let's get the new guy in hand. Let's figure him out. But I don't think Malik Willis is the guy. I don't.
Not
we're
necessarily.
about to find out. We're about to find
You know
out.
what
He's
I-
got to go through the right
What?
situation.
You know what I
He's a
think?
situational quarterback.
49ers,
honest-
I think, is a great situation for Malik Willis, if that was
Nope.
the case.
Oh, they
Well,
just
they got-
drafted somebody last year.
They got a guy.
Trafe.
We'll
what's
discuss that another one.
Yeah,
Do
but
you
here's
think?
here's my last thought. If Daniel Jones was drafted like this year and got to start with his rookie year with this staff, I think by year 3, like where we are now, he would be an entirely different dude, and you'd be like, okay, I would feel real. But I think just nature of the business. He's at the end of his rookie deal. They may have a good chance at some better prospects next year. I think it's just nature of the business that's going to force him out. And the Giants messed him up. And if he goes on to succeed somewhere else, so be it. But I don't think he's going to have enough time in this season in the first year with an O-line that's under construction to go out there and light the world on fire and be like, okay, that's our guy. I think he was screwed by the Giants. He also wasn't good enough. And I just think it's a little bit of both.
I totally agree. And don't forget, we still have his option. I believe that's supposed to be up next week.
Yeah,
Right? Is it
well,
May
I don't
1st?
think
Is
I
it May
don't.
1st exactly?
Yeah, I
So
don't
that
foresee
shows you
them picking that up.
huge. What's like that should give you an answer what's going on with Daniel Jones if they don't bring him on that 5th-year option. You know
All
what I
right,
mean?
so I got to say
go
real
ahead.
quick because we're moving on in the stream and we got
Yeah.
3 people waiting. So we're gonna give you guys a
Bring
couple
'em.
minutes each. So real quick, what are you drinking? You better be drinking something besides apple juice. And what are you thinking? Sergeant's in the house.
Yo.
Sarge.
Ooh, yeah.
I fully expected his Giants light up hat to be on tonight.
Well, I
disappointed.
gotta put on my thinking cap.
Yeah.
It's a party up in here.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
This is
Let's
my
go,
favorite thing
Sarge.
in the world. I love
Dude.
this.
It's funny because I was like, I don't know if someone's gonna like it, but I was like, man, you should find some good comedy in this. This is just that's a party.
Oh, this is
That's
this
a party.
this is amazing, and I plan on wearing this all night on draft.
Let's go.
Oh, and then
Nice
and
touch.
then when Icky or Neil go 5, the hat's just gonna
Ooh.
boom.
Ooh, yeah.
Fireworks.
It's
I
gonna go
want
off.
reaction
It's
video with
fireworks.
the hat on.
Oh,
Let's do it. So
Oh,
what's
yeah.
what's your drinking? Number one. What you drinking?
I'm drinking
Yeah, what
some
is that?
local stuff, lots of IPAs and red ales
There.
because that's where I go. And
Nice.
You know what? With a beard like that, you only drink IPAs. I
It
assume.
seems like it's match made in heaven.
And
I
what
hear
you
that a
thinking,
lot.
Sarge? What you thinking?
Oh,
Yeah.
boys. So we were talking about Daniel Jones before. Do we want to move on to draft talk or do we want to stick with DJ because we all know he was a reach?
Absolutely. Draft talk. We can do whatever you like,
Yeah,
brother.
DJ was a reach because
Fair.
Gettleman wanted Herbert. Herbert didn't want Gettleman and decided to go back to school.
Ooh, I
And
like that thing.
instead of waiting, they messed everything up. Let's say the past
Reach.
It's a very nice way to put
the
it.
past 4 years, we're just gonna limit it to the past 4 years. It's just been a giant shit show. We know what happened prior to that. But yeah, so we're looking forward, we're moving forward. So let's talk draft, fellas.
Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it
Yes, let's
positive.
keep it positive. So we're moving
Yeah.
forward. We're looking to the future.
Let's
What do we
go.
got? I don't want to do mock drafts. We're not going to talk about mock drafts. We're just going
No.
to talk about what's draft night food looking like for you guys?
That's what I like
Ooh.
to hear.
Draft night
That's what I like to
snacks.
hear.
What
I'll
are we
leave
talking
that
about?
up too.
To let the cat out of the bag, I believe Hefe and Mr. Glass have full of meeting in person. Unfortunately, I will be running the city, which is retarded. No, which is insane. Forgive me. Wrong word to
Watch
use.
that R word.
Sorry.
I'm from
We'll
New
edit
England.
that out.
I'm from New England. That
Um,
is a perfectly acceptable word.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Forgive me for those that are insensitive. Oh, that not insensitive, but that's sensitive.
That's even better.
Oh, jeez Louise. I didn't take my foot out my mouth. Guys, run the show, all right?
Yeah. Eli, I'm going to mute you for a couple
Edit that.
minutes.
Eli's
thank you.
going to get canceled, and I'm just going to take
Thank you.
over.
I'm canceled now. Thank you. I appreciate it. But no, I have to work, unfortunately, and which is insane. And I believe these two guys are meeting up. So what food do you guys have?
That actually brings up a very good point.
Yeah, we gotta talk about
Spiro.
food.
Should we hash this
Yeah,
out
yeah,
now?
yeah.
No,
We
Spiro's
should
going
now.
to join me in this
Yes.
room,
I'm
right?
coming down.
And with the guitars in the background, and we're going to record some stuff that night. We're not going to stream live because everybody is streaming live, right? So we're going to maybe record our reactions to the picks and then put some New York Revival minutes up afterwards and properly react to the picks and put that out there. But as far as a food spread, now you got me thinking. Like I feel responsible to have a good food spread now.
I thought we had this on the rest, but now you just brought it up, Sarge, and we have to have a legit conversation, me and Jeff.
Yeah. Wow.
What's going on
Yeah.
there?
That's
What do
an
you got
awful-
going on? What do you got going on there, bud?
I'm going to have a lot of this.
IPAs,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, I mean,
Probably,
that's
yeah.
probably some pizza. But
Yes.
Can't go wrong.
so and as well, that's good. So Jeff and Spiro are going to be together, which means that our new defensive coordinator is going to be on site. Is Carlos and our Dable double attending as well. That's the other thing.
You know, it's funny you say that because
I'm seeing a lot of content coming out of draft night with the War Room. It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
TK, I
Let's
think
go.
TK is gonna. TK is
TK.
Carlos. Another cat out of the bag. TK is Carlos, and
You
it sounds
revealed
weird to
them.
say. It sounds weird to say gas station chicken, but it's the best fried chicken. Like it's the best fried chicken in the world. So
Now we have to do that.
that's probably what's going to happen that night.
Great.
You know what?
This is why we love TK.
Where I work at, there's a gas station, which is insane. It's a Subway and a chicken spot, right? And it's like crunchy chicken, it's called, and it's delicious in the gas station.
Half a mile from my house is a loafing jug, which is a gas station out here, with a full service Chinese restaurant inside of it. It's like
food,
convenience store. Chinese restaurant.
You don't see that often.
They got icky sauce in there.
I'm pretty sure they've got icky sauce.
That's awesome. Sarge, I appreciate you, man. Anything else you got, brother? Because I know we're running a little bit on time too.
I got nothing, man. I know you guys got guys in the queue, so let's keep the show rolling.
Love you, Sarge.
Appreciate you stopping by, brother.
Fellas.
Cheers.
Thank you, brother. We'll see you. Cheers.
We'll see you on draft night, one way or another. We got a new friend of the show, Big Blue in the Bronx here.
Yes.
What's going on, guys?
Big Blue in the Bronx, man. Man, that name sounds familiar, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I just like
know
to
exactly
say
who you are.
Yeah.
on,
I just would like to say, you guys do a great job with all your interviews. I know you guys had Tiki on recently, and you had a couple other people on. I think you guys do a great job. Hefe, obviously the comedy. Eli soft-spoken with his views on the Giants, and then Spiro made me feel good last Sunday, knowing that I wasn't the only Orthodox person on Twitter.
Let's go.
Wow, what a good start! What a good start, man. Thank you.
Brother.
Unfortunately, I have the thing hanging above me that on Thursday I'll actually be partying with a bunch of Jet fans for the draft. So
hey,
there's
brutal.
that. But
listen,
first
it's gonna be a New York day. It's gonna be a New York day right there.
Big Blue in the Bronx, man. What you drinking, man? First, we got to get to that.
Well,
If you drink.
just a few minutes ago, I was drinking Pepsi. I'm a Pepsi guy, not a Coke guy.
Hey,
But even though I can't legally drink, I still do it. You know, when I still sneak
Don't
in
drink.
when I can.
Don't drink, all right? Don't
You're
drink.
not
stay for as
21
long as
yet?
you can.
No, I'm not actually.
Yo, him and Nate, by the way. Shout out to
beautiful.
Nate, man. Great friend of the show.
Beautiful.
These guys are both on. Like, I'm like, man, you guys are so wise and ahead of the game. I would never thought that was in their teens. You know, I think Nate's just finishing high school, if I'm not mistaken. So it's just nuts, man. These guys are just so wise, so much great information. So I appreciate you guys, honestly. Shout out to Nate, man. Shout out to you as well. But go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. What you got? What's on your mind?
Let me ask you guys this, and obviously this is a subject knowing the Giants are probably going to pick at 5 or 7. How do you rank the top 5 tackles, and what are your thoughts on Charles Cross? Now, let me give my thoughts real quick before you guys can split it. However, I think he's a solid tackle, polished in pass protection, but I just don't think, and you guys were talking about Daniel Jones before, I just don't think the ceiling is there. Like, yes, he could be a solid tackle, but the reason why you select the guy in the top 10 is so they could be a great tackle like, Andrew Thomas looks to be. Evan Neal has that high ceiling, so does Ika Makwanu. So Charles Cross, in my opinion, yes, I'm not going to be super mad if they select him, but once again, the ceiling is one thing why players go in the top 10.
Right. That's fair. I mean, listen, I'll respond with my thoughts. I think, easy. I think Neal's the number one. I came back full circle here. I didn't have him as a number one. I initially had him as number one. I moved him slowly back, but I've come full circle now because I think his ceiling is the highest. If he reaches it, his athletic ability is just through the roof. He's just a physical specimen. He doesn't even look fat. He looks just slimmed out, a nice 330 something,
330 and somehow not fat.
Just cut, tall, he's got all the intangibles. So I'm gonna go with him. Icky's kind of moved back for me a little bit because I think he's a monster run blocker, but I don't think the Giants are going to be doing that. So I think his elite skills at run blocking are better served somewhere else where they're going to be running the ball a lot more. That's why I think Cross might be right there with Icky in the Giants front office. I think they really do love Cross. I think Cross is a good pass blocker. Not good run blocking. Not that he's bad, but there's not enough tape on him. So I think he's actually their second choice above Icky. And then Penning for me is 4. I think Penning is a great right tackle. He's mean, but to me he has the lowest ceiling. So that's how I'd rank him 1 through 4. Who's the 5th one? What you said? Did you say 5? I'm sorry.
I did say 5.
Who am I missing?
He's like, you tell me, bro.
Or unless we're not missing it. Those are the 4. Those are the 4 that we got to worry about. So
I'll just be real quick and say Neal is my runaway number 1. Like you give that kind of caliber of an Alabama guy that played 3 different positions. So like that versatility is what makes me feel like he's the guy, right? If something were to happen to Andrew Thomas and you got to fill in some gaps, like he's a day 1 starter. And I'm not worried too much about ceiling of these guys, but that is a day 1 starter that you don't have to worry about. And you just continue to see him get better. So if we wind up somehow, if Neal falls to 5, I'm so thrilled.
please.
And like it gives me peace of mind with that 7. I don't care which defensive stud they take there, and I don't care if they trade back. I'm happy to get that right tackle shored up, and it's just like such a needed thing for the Giants for this season. So give me Neal at 5, and then I'll just relax the rest of the night.
Last thing I'll say about Neal, he can play guard too. He's got
Yeah, he played guard.
Left tackle, right tackle, guard, all over the map. Give me Neal.
He'll play anywhere except center, right? Like you could pretty much put him anywhere you need to. So like, let's start filing those guys in Giants uniforms.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet as well, man. Neal's the most complete offensive lineman coming into this draft. So I would say why not, man? That's number 1, of course. When you say Icky, right? It's Iguano, I think it is, guys.
Yeah,
as far as the run, right? As far as running, I don't see that could be. I think his ceiling is high as well. I think he could be that pass blocker you guys are looking for. However, I think this team is going to be running the ball, especially with Saquon. So I wouldn't be mad at that pick as well. You know what I mean? So I would say either one of those 2 you could go after, and I think it'll be all right. But Neal, of course, will be that guy because he can move along the lines and can play that right tackle spot as well for you. So and he can be that anchor for many years to come. But I think Icky too. You know what I mean? I think he could be coached well to be an efficient pass blocker. I don't think he's completely. Yeah, I don't think he's completely like flawed in that position. I think he has a good ceiling there. But I think we're going to run the ball. And if you go with him or Neal, I'm good with that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But as far as the rest, I can't really think on the top of my head. I'm being honest with you.
You're good. That's good.
We'll go with those 2 guys for sure.
Hopefully we don't need to go past those 2.
Yeah, let's
hope not. Let's hope not. Because I'm thinking edge rusher, and I'm not even thinking of offensive. I'm like those 2 guys, and the rest is like edge. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's all I got right now. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah. I would hope so. We don't go past those top 3. So I'm going to try to jumble in these last few topics because I know there's another person probably waiting in the studio. So I'm gonna do it rapid fire, but also might be confusing for you guys to keep up with this.
We love confusing. Bring it on. Yeah.
Top couple of let's see. Top 3 edge. Obviously, we already know the first 2 probably, and the last one for people, it's probably going to be Jermaine or George or Trayvon Walker. I want to get your guys' thoughts on that and Trayvon Walker moving up draft boards. I also want to gauge you guys' thoughts on, and I know the Giants, it's going to be obvious that they're looking for a corner, but if it was your situation, no matter the type of scheme, whether it's Martindale or it's just a traditional defense, would you rather take Tibbs or would you rather take Sauce?
Damn, that's a good question.
That's pretty much the best problem we could have at 7, right?
Yeah.
I would take Sauce. Listen, I think
that's very
Sauce
easy.
is, and I'll answer that part of the question. But I would take Sauce. I would definitely take Sauce over Tibbs, and I love Tibbs. Don't get me wrong, but the more you sit back and you look at Tibbs, you're like, man, and I'm not trying to say he's a character issue. He does have that attitude a little bit, you know what I mean? Where it could be like, man, he could be that type of guy that kind of takes some plays off, could be a knuckle. I could be wrong, all right? But I'm just looking at a bunch of stuff, a bunch of interviews. He's a great talent, but Sauce, I think, is just a generational guy. He could be a Revis. He could be that type of guy to elevate your defense. And like I said, shout out to Tibbs, man. I think either way, you're in a good position. But if I had to pick, it would be Sauce for me. I would. I don't know, but correct me if I'm wrong.
I'll just piggyback and agree because to Thibodeau, like some of that stuff that comes out, like I'm not sure he's going to be like if shit goes bad for a little while, is he still going to be a good guy in that locker room that you want leading? You know what I mean?
It's a good question.
And with how the game is going, quarterbacks getting rid of the ball so quickly, like give me a chance at a shutdown corner, right? Who, you know, with everyone seems to agree, Wink's system, you need those corners. We're getting dangerously thin at corner.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have some guys that we're building within our system that can help with edge rush. It doesn't mean the draft is over if we don't get an edge rusher at 7. So if you have a chance at the best corner in the draft that can be that guy, then go get him. And I don't know him as well. I don't have as good a read on him character-wise as Thibodeau. I feel like Thibodeau's been in front of the camera a lot more.
Yeah.
So, nothing is 100%, but I'm going to go Sauce there too.
Yeah. I think everybody's overthinking Thibodeau. I got to be honest with you. I think this guy, listen, and a couple of people have mentioned it before. Like this guy's known he's going to the NFL for a long time now. Now, what might scare the Giants is that they're going through the Kadarious Toney stuff right now. They've gone through the Odell stuff, and they're like, you know what? We're gonna go with somebody that's not going to cause anything.
We just get a quiet guy.
Yeah. So I think that's the only reason. But I think Thibodeau is going to be a beast in the NFL. I really do. I don't think it's going to be a Clowney thing. I think the Clowney comparisons are just lazy because, you know, you like have an athletic freak that come in the NFL that might not care. I think Thibodeau is waiting to be a star. He wants to be a star. I think he's going to be a stud. If I had to rank the edge rushers, I am putting Trayvon Walker after it's Hutchinson for me. It's Thibodeau. Then I'm putting Trayvon Walker third because I think he's got elite potential. Some people say he's got like Olivier Vernon kind of vibes. I disagree with those people. Let's just say that. And I also think that Olivier Vernon.
Who are these people?
Was a very solid player. So you have a guy that's going to be an athletic freak, play run defense. He's just scratching the surface on his pass rushing. I think Trayvon Walker could play coverage. I think he can do whatever you want along the defensive line. I think he's going to be a stud, and he is just scratching the surface of what he can do. So Trayvon Walker, number 3, Jermaine Johnson, number 4, just because he's a solid player, got a good motor, and I think he's going to be a good NFL starter. I kind of hope the Jets take him so it pushes everybody else down a little bit for us. But to wrap it all up, Sauce. I like Sauce a lot, man. I like Sauce a lot.
Spiro, I love. I know I said I prefer Sauce. If we get Thibodeau right there, I'm lifting you off the ground. I'm celebrating. Like I'm out of my mind. I'm out of my mind excited. So
exactly. There's no downside to it. There's no downside.
It's not. There really isn't.
But
really
I'm taking Sauce because I think he's got elite potential as a shutdown corner in Wink system. I think he's got that that energy about him, that confidence that you need as a cornerback. He's got all the intangibles, the length, the ability to mirror guys on man. Give me Sauce. Sauce, baby.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If I had to bet money, if there was money out in Vegas and they say who could be the rookie of the year out of the people with his name, I would say Sauce. I really do think he has that talent. I really do over Thibs, and I like Thibs. You know what I mean? But
Big Blue, good questions. I appreciate you for coming through, man.
Yeah, dude. I just made sure I was following you, and I am following you. So everybody go follow him too.
Hell yes. Easy.
Thanks for stopping by, brother. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Big Blue in the Bronx. Appreciate you.
Let's go Giants.
Let's go.
Buddy. See you on draft night.
That was.
Look at this guy! Look at this guy! Hold on. We're not gonna ask you to do the finally. And is it?
Oh my God!
Finally, R0B has come back to New York Revival. Now, C's, you didn't think I was going to let you disrespect my partner and I wasn't going to come to his defense. PTA for that. I got you, baby. I got you. Okay?
That's a partner right there.
PTA, you're coming at me. Now,
this is what I'm talking about. I love that.
Brings the energy every time.
I'm soaking in my jacuzzi tub. Went for a nice long exercise.
Ooh, look at
soaking
you.
in my jacuzzi tub.
Nice.
Drinking some Deer Park spring water.
You're trying not to get too lightheaded. You're just. I understand it.
I'm trying. You know, it was
I guess-
tough waiting over here backstage because
Cheers to that.
I'm the main attraction.
I know. We had to save you. We had to save you, bro.
He said, "I love it."
He
He's
doesn't
ready for
mind.
Hope
this.
you're
He
doing it,
likes it.
boys. Hey, 2 days. We got
2 days.
2
Guys,
days.
this is
before Florida.
Christmas.
Actually, less than 2 days. We will
Yes,
have
right.
our picks. We will have our
Thank
picks,
God.
baby.
We will have at least the 5th, unless they trade back with the second one. We will have at least
True,
the number
true.
5 pick as a New York Giant.
Oh my God,
It kind of
It's the
feels
day
like
before Christmas Eve.
like we're welcoming members to our family. We're about to find
Yes.
out. You know what I mean? Like we are going
Like
to
Christmas.
learn.
Honestly,
Yeah.
It's Christmas, dude. Like whether you're a content creator or a fan, it doesn't matter. This is such a big deal. You got new guys, especially with 5 and 7 picks. Giants, I think they said, have the second most draft equity in this entire draft. It's exciting, man. These are the future. These are the future players of the New York Giants that are going to be everything that we root
You're
for,
right.
that we scream at, that we laugh at. I mean, these are our guys. We're about to meet them. So there's
Yeah,
nothing.
PHF,
And this is
I'm trying to look
this
at
is
my
all we have for
different
several more
part
months.
over here. Stop trying to look at my nipples, okay? They're not. Stop it. I see you trying to cop a peek. I'll tell your wife, okay? I'll tell your wife.
How could you even tell that I'm trying to? How did you know?
You know when your nipples are being like that. I get it.
I
get
know.
it.
I've seen those eyes, and the only I've seen those eyes, that look in your eye, and you only do that when you're making your little
You
YouTube
look at his
videos
lips.
and looking at me. So I know. Okay.
Guilty as charged. All right,
Awesome.
all right.
R0 B, what you thinking? Is there anything else, brother, that you want
Oh,
to
of course. Oh, I got tons of stuff. So I'm
Well,
going to
he's
fire down real quick to get to my main topic. Kadarious Toney stuff that you guys were talking about. Me personally, I'm giving the guy a small pass because he's a rookie. But for me, I'm with GHF right now. Like, it's your second year. The team was terrible last year. Get your ass to fucking camp. Excuse my language. I'm sorry if I'm not allowed
Let's
to.
go.
But
Bring it.
get your ass to camp. You have no business being there. And me personally, if they got rid of him, I'd be okay with it because I don't want that kind of attitude. We were all crapping on KG, and granted, we overpaid, and we were all crapping on him for quitting on plays. But he showed up. He showed up, ready to work, ready to be there, ready to grind out, and I respect that. Do I think that Toney has some talent? Yeah, we were comparing him to OBJ. I think OBJ is way more of an athletic guy when it comes to jumping. Toney, to me, yeah, he's quick and agile, but he moves left and right too much for me. Too much juking, stuff like that. Odell was one cut and go. I mean, that's what he was, and I think that's what makes a good wide receiver. When it comes to Daniel Jones and Mr. C's little hypothesis project, okay, that he was putting out there, I'm actually going to go above Eli, and I'm going to say I'm going to put Daniel Jones at 1. And the reason why is because I think if you put Daniel Jones on the Cardinals team with that offensive line, both those running backs and the wide receivers, not to mention a pretty good defense, I don't think that I think that he performs better in that playoff game than Kyler Murray does. Playoff game.
Might be on to something.
So I'm gonna put him at number 1. Now to the main juice.
Let's get it.
Okay. To the main juice. Ma'am, I know you're drinking over there, and I know you're looking at me too. Keep your eyes up here, not down here. Up here. Up here, okay? Look me in the eye. In the eyes. Now, the draft. You guys know I've been doing a lot of mock drafts on PFF. I've been doing a lot. I posted them today. I've been doing them a lot.
Yes.
And I'm going to propose a couple of things. One kind of statement and one question. Two guys that I want is Sauce and Neil. I'll be honest, if I had a situation today in one of my drafts where Neil, Sauce, Cross were there, and I took Sauce first, and Iquanu was there as well. I took Sauce first because I feel like Carolina, if they don't trade out, they're going to be stupid and they're going to take Sauce Gardner, and I don't want that. I don't want him in North Carolina.
Agreed.
I want him in New York, the more northern state.
Yeah.
So I would take Sauce because I think you're going to get Neil or Iquanu at 7. Okay. Now, two questions. One, let's just say it goes Aiden, Thib at 2, Sauce at 3, Stingley at 4. Okay. And now you've got Iquanu, you got Neal, you got Cross there. I'm taking Neal at 5.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the two parts question. One, what do you guys think about George Karlaftis? I like him because when I look at his stats, he reminds me. I know you don't like the player comparisons, GHF, so just bear with me. I compare him to a little bit of a stronger Ryan Kerrigan.
Yeah.
The guy's been on the field for run and pass defenses, which I like. That means he's good on both. Some plays you get on the edge, they're not really good in run defense. They're more good on the pass. I feel like he's well balanced. He's had a decent amount of snaps on both. His hurries are good. He's got decent sacks, 8 or 10 sacks. But the point is with him that I like is that it's been consistent the last 3 years. Since 2019 to 2021, it's been consistent. What are your thoughts on George? Or, GHF, you mentioned it before, Neal's played multiple positions. Do you take Neal and Cross at 5 and 7? Bump Neal over to left guard. Sorry, Shane Lemieux. Just because you're wearing 66.
Toodles.
Doodles is right. Yeah.
You ain't no David Deal.
Yeah.
Start Cross at right tackle. Neal at left guard. That would be ideal. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that? And then the last question is, and I thought about this while I was soaking in this amazing hot tub. That's to bring me up here.
It just came to me.
Because I think Eli was talking about it, or it might have been you, GHF. Might have been you. Andrew Thomas wasn't drafted by Joe Shane and Dave. Is it possible that the tackle that we draft on Thursday could be Andrew Thomas's replacement? When his years is up.
Woo.
Because they don't. Listen. I love AT. I love AT. But I have it's a possibility. Remember, the Buffalo Bills were kind of keen on it. Remember a guy named Jason Peters? I don't know. Played the Bills, kind of walked away. Cody Glenn, they drafted him, kind of went away. It could be very well possible that they might be drafting AT's replacement, and after his 4 years done, not picking up his fifth-year option and letting him go. And the guy that they took is their guy.
All right. Let's
lot to unpack there. To unpack there.
So R0B, thank you so much, because I know we all pressed for time. Thank you so much, brother. We'll answer that question right now. Speed, what you got?
Well, let's first start off with how he started off. George, my man George, the fellow Greek. That's my boy, Karlaftis, right there. We love him. We love him, ready.
I Greeks, baby.
Yes. I compare. Kerrigan's a good comparison. I like him as like a Justin Smith type. He's gonna be a beast down there. He's gonna be hard to play against. Not gonna be elite. He's not gonna bend the edge, but he's going to be a tough motherfucker. And I love that kid. I don't think he's got a top 10 elite ceiling kind of. That's not a guy that is gonna be a star in this league. He could make multiple Pro Bowls. He's gonna be tough to play against, not star level. So that's why I got him a little further back in my rankings there. Now. All right, what else we have here? We had
with the possibility of taking Cross after Neal or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Neal and Cross. If you took Neal at 5 and Cross was still there at 7, do you take Cross at 7 as well?
Well, at first, let's say this. I think it's a huge miss if the Giants don't take Cross and Sauce, just because that's headlines just written for you right there. I think it's a huge
all right
miss.
there, Mother Goose. All right.
No, but seriously, I'm going to say no. You go Neal, and then you go defense, because we have holes everywhere. I think AT, you don't mess with AT right now, because he's shown that he's got a season and a half now, because the back half of his rookie season was also really good. And then last year, he looked great. So I'm not moving him, but I would entertain moving him to right tackle, because I think he could be excellent there too. Whatever combination works, whatever this rookie is that you bring in, Evan Neal, in my opinion, I want him to come in. You put him wherever, but you do not get rid of Andrew Thomas because that kid's a stud. I'd leave him there, in my opinion, and figure out where Neal's second position is. Like, not a second. Figure out where Neal is great at. Guard, right tackle, wherever it is. Take one offensive lineman, take that second best defensive player that's there. Hopefully it's an edge because, man, I want that defense to get back to being nasty. And I need that. I need that in my life.
I'm just going to chime in real quick. In terms of taking Cross possibly with that 7, if that were to fall like that, I don't think if it were to somehow happen, that would be such a power move to set up this offensive line that while I really want a defensive stud there too, the last decade has shown us that you cannot fucking compete without an offensive line.
Yeah.
So if they were to take those 2 guys right there and set them up, then you have 3 out of 5 pieces that are really, really good for at least the next 2 years until you renew Andrew Thomas. I think you
4
also
out of 5.
And I think you leave. Yeah, true. And you leave Andrew Thomas at left tackle. I think they like the film that he's put there. He's got the tenure. I don't see a need to move him. I think they'll probably cross-train these guys to be able to fill in if they have to. But then you're talking about that's a power move that sets up this team. It changes the makeup of this team completely. And another thing, if they wind up trading back or surprise everyone, they'll have their pick of the litter of wide receiver at 7. So like nobody's talking about the possibility of them grabbing a wide receiver there because what do we have? Kenny Golladay, injury prone, Toney issues, Slayton, Jesus Christ, Shepard
might be
never out. Right. Shepard never. So like wide receiver is thin. I do not want to see CJ Board on the fucking field this year.
No.
So if there's a lot of things they can do that could surprise us.
Yeah.
I think double offensive line would be such a friggin' power move.
That's a power move.
And I want to see Sauce, Thibodeau there, something like that, and like that's my best case. But if I will not be upset if Cross falls if Cross falls to 7, so be it. If they do that, that's a power move, and I'm down with it.
Awesome. No, listen, I'm going to piggyback exactly what Jeff has said, man. I mean, you can't go wrong when you have 2 linemen ready to go and ready to rock, right? So you're not going to win any games. He's absolutely right without an offensive line. I mean, we've seen that. Throughout times and times, yes, there's an anomaly where Cincinnati can make it without an offensive line, right? But I guess they were serviceable to a degree. That's what happens when you have an elite quarterback. But guess what, people? We don't have an elite quarterback. So we definitely need an offensive line.
Or those wide
out
receivers,
there.
yeah.
Or don't. So again, I wouldn't be mad. Like I think this is the, a year where we're finally in a good position where we have competent people in the front office to actually make these picks, and it's something good. You know what I mean? It's something to look forward to. No matter what we pick, we're in good shape for the future. So I wouldn't be mad at any of the picks that they make, especially if you go with 2 offensive linemen. I would definitely cheer and applaud that and high five everyone in the room as well. So definitely. But thank you so much, R0B. Appreciate you, man.
You're the best, R0.
Yo, here's what we'd like to do. R0, hang out for a sec, because at the end of the night, our stream is coming to an end. Anybody who is willing to hang out this long, we just bring them on. We have a little party here. We have a little cheers together. If you got
put on that hat, baby.
Yes.
Put it on.
Don't.
Turn the lights off. Turn the lights off.
Which is on the bottom.
If I may, for everybody that's watching and had an amazing time with the show, if you smell what Mr. Glass have full, Eli, El Jefe, Mayhem, C's, I haven't forgotten about you. Yeah, I haven't forgotten about you. And the editor, Monte, is cooking.
And guys, we want to say thank you for spending this wonderful Tuesday night with us, man. And on the behalf of all the guys here in this room, you got Sergeant Mayhem, you got Monte, you got R0B, you got C's the Entertainment, and then you got my guys, my other host here, Mr. Glass Half Full. Speed if you nasty.
Hey.
Speed if you nasty. And we got my guy, Mr. El Jefe, a.k.a. Are we going to really go through all of this? Boy, you guys already know. Now, just to let you know, guys, if you have anybody you want to debate with, at them, DM us. We're going to have a New York Revival court.
Set it up.
So we're going to make sure you guys debate it out here, and we, your judge of your peers, is going to see who's right.
I might have to call RB0 out.
Listen, hey, you don't do my move. That's my move. You don't do my move on me. You don't
So
do my
we'll
move on
save
me.
that. We'll save that. But at us, DM us. This is what we're here for. Don't forget, guys, next week we got Brandon London in the building, and the week after we got Joy, and then we got a bunch of other guests that's lined up for you guys. And also we have surprise, man. Get us to 1,000 on YouTube.
Let's
We're giving
go.
out prizes. We're giving out all these special guests you can talk to, you can chime in, and all a bunch of stuff from there. But guys, thank you so much. Have a good night. This is New York Revival. Well, it's not just sports, it's entertainment. You guys have a good night. Be well.
Cheers, guys.
Peace.